How do you know if you are possessed? What is possession? Demonic possession or possession is when you have something that you don't own. It's a spiritual state of having energy in you attached to your actual soul, to your own consciousness, to your own mind that isn't your own. So when we live in our lives, we send out energies. We send out, we project consciousness into directions and places and into things, but we never really lose it. But if we lose it, we lose some of our consciousness, like a piece comes off, and it is and then another being, it attaches to another being, then we have basically possessed somebody, and the other person is the victim. The other person has been possessed. Now, it takes two sides to possess something, of course. The first thing that it takes is the person who sent the energy. The other person needs to actually be open and accept it. So, it's not just your fault that you're possessed, but it's also the fault of another person. So yes, your demonic possession, if you are possessed, which I'll be reading the symptoms, is your fault. Sorry to break it to you. I'm not here to be mean, but you can, just like the way you have it in you, can get the demons out of you. So first things first, again, what is it? What is demonic possession? It's not like a demon. It's not like an angry little figure inside of your spiritual world that's harassing you. That's not what it is. It's just another piece. It's just a piece of another soul's consciousness. Right now, somebody else might be possessed because of you, and you might be possessed because of somebody else. So what are the symptoms? Well, do you ever feel like something is a little bit wrong? Do you ever feel like you have something off within you, inside of you, in your psyche? Not like a subtle little wrong, but like a genuine underneath thing, that something in your very essence, in your foundation, feels off. If you are saying yes to this, then you might be possessed. If you are not saying yes to this, then you likely are not possessed, because every single possessed person has to feel like something is wrong, otherwise they won't know. So I used to be possessed, believe it or not, and when I was possessed, I had headaches. I always had headaches. It was absurd. Like growing up, when I was possessed, I had a lot of headaches growing up, and it's not just because I was normal or I was tired from school or played too much sports. It was genuine. It was genuinely like a headache every other day or every week, and it's really not normal for a child. But after the demon left, everything kind of healed up, and I stopped having headaches. So if you have a lot of headaches, that's one symptom. Also, your perception might be skewed. You might not have the ability to sense social or physical or emotional or mental danger, and you might not be able to respond to it very well. So possessed people who have these consciousness from other souls in them, or attached to their own soul, they might not have correct vision. They might have a skewed perception. So they may be hanging out with people that their soul knows that they shouldn't be hanging out with them because it's bad for them for whatever particular spiritual reason, like social reason. They might have a problem with these friends in the future, or things like this. But the demon that's attached to them is skewing their perception. They don't know, they can't think with their own mind clearly. And you see how this affects your own psyche, and it drives you tired. You become tired, you have fatigue now, and you get headaches. So it's all connected. So it has to do with perception. Perception is what demons attack, and this affects your actual body and your mind and your soul. Also, do you feel detached from your own self and what you like? Do you feel a little bit like everything is a little bit fantastical, a little bit too fictiony? life doesn't have a certain tint to it. It feels like it's too good or too nice. You see, this is a sign of possession right here. And when you're detached from your own self, you've not that you don't know yourself, or it's not that, like, you know you you know it's not that you don't, like, how do I say this? It's not that you don't know yourself. It's just that, or that you can do whatever you like. It's just that it's a little bit too good. Stuff feels a little bit too good sometimes. You know what I mean? That's because you're being drained and something is using you and sending you these energies to you. Generally, a non-possessed person who is not broken and split up and has nothing attached to it feels kind of grounded and kind of normal, emotionally in a normal mood. Now, though things might be very good when you're possessed, if you are possessed, in your eyes, you might look very sad. Now, if you observe my eyes, these eyes are not sad. They're quite normal. So, um, a possessed person may actually feel like happy a lot, but actually their eyes reveal that they're not happy at all. They're sad, which is very weird. And in the eyes of a possessed person, might you can see the misery in their eyes, like a very deep, potent misery, sadness, even though they themselves claim and probably do feel happy. Um, so yeah, possessed people usually live lies. They have friends they don't really want to be around because their perception is skewed. They have lots and lots of different issues going on. Now, when the spirits left, when I was possessed and my spirits left and I became unpossessed, I started gaining understanding of the world around me and myself. Everything changed. It's almost like I had a one thing right here and something got pulled out of it and everything just went for a spin and all over the place until everything kind of, and I started getting my footing a little bit, and I'm still getting my footing even now. But yeah, you basically get an understanding of the world around you and yourself, and you have to realize sooner than later. It's sometimes this very thought takes a long time to get, but you basically realize that the current you is more real than the old you, and and um, and even your past doesn't really, like, you have trouble thinking about it and memorizing it after the demons have left. You have trouble thinking about the past because though it felt good, it's like there was nothing. It was a lie. It held no water. There was no substance to it, and so now you are kind of, you know, disoriented in a way. But you're getting your footing, you're learning about yourself, you're learning about the real you of the past, the real you of the now, and sometimes, but there was an inconsistency, and you just have to realize that the old possessed version of you was the not correct one, and the unpossessed version, where you're gaining your footing and figuring your life out, is the good one. So before I get into some of the signs, what I'm gonna do is tell you guys, how do you get rid of demons. Demons can be gotten rid of by prayer. So when you close your eyes and put your hands together and bow your head, or just keep your head still and basically pray to either yourself, the universe, God, basically direct your consciousness in on itself and say to yourself, please get rid of these demons that are in me. You know what I mean? Do this. And this is going to rattle your inside, your consciousness, and just pray, break curses off of your soul and send these demons away and ask for them to be exorcised out of you and pushed away from you, because this will actually, your consciousness will respond to this as you pray with your consciousness, and you send a force of blast of energy to purify yourself. So say all those kind of spiritual things, breaking curses, purifying yourself, renouncing everything. Another thing you can do is actually get lots of rest. Okay, get lots and lots of rest, because rest, believe it or not, demons do like to haunt people who are tired and fatigued. It's because these people are easy targets. Now, another thing before we get into the rest of the symptoms and stuff like that, Why do we get possessed? Why do people get possessed? Well, it's because they have, remember in the beginning of the video I said they allowed it? Well, it's because they have open doors. You've sinned, you've done things, you've channeled and sent pieces of your soul away, and you've opened doors within your consciousness for these foreign entities to come in, and external consciousness pieces to enter you and to kind of make a home with you, and you've basically built relationships spiritually with these foreign external soul pieces and souls that have found very much comfort in leeching off of you and being you. Now, the way you are, you're supposed to be completely on your own. Spiritually, you're supposed to be independent. You're supposed to be like God. God is independent, self-sustaining, and not doesn't need anything. He's alive. We're supposed to be kind of like that. So it's not good when you're not. You want to collect all your pieces, all your broken pieces, and glue them together and transmute them into one mass. If they're all over the place and broken, collect your pieces and exercise the stuff out of you that you feel is not you, so you can get your own pieces there. So yes, sinning is what allows the doors to be open to Satan and the demonic and stuff like that. If you practice dark arts that are actually evil, not just generic magic, but like doing bad things, these are examples of opening doors. Being tired and fatigued and pushing your body past its limits will weaken you and weaken your vessel and your soul. These kind of things. Also, another symptom is being sick a lot, by the way. I didn't mention this. Other than headaches and fatigue and the other stuff I mentioned, if you're always sick, you always feel sick a lot. Like you have snot coming out of your nose for no apparent reason all the time. You have something leeching off of you energetically. It's causing a sickness to affect your body, a weakness. Now, let's get back to the symptoms. Do you feel like you have unlimited energy? That you can go and run and play sports 10 hours a day or work on the computer all day and not need any rest? If so, this is a sign that you might be possessed, because demons skew our perception energetically and spiritually, and they can make us feel like we have more energy than we really do. And it's funny because when you get the demons out of you, it's ironic rather, that when you get the demons out of you, you start getting more tired, and you start noticing that you're not superhuman. Well, you were just as tired before then, but you were pushing your body. So, yeah, normal people who aren't possessed don't have unlimited energy. They have a balance. They need a rest. They need to relax. They need to heal from the energy exertion. Do you ever feel like you have a deep, dark void or energy inside your body that feels very demonic and dark inside of you? If so, that is an example of a symptom that you might be possessed. Demonically possessed people usually feel a very deep, dark void inside of them that feels kind of demonic and evil and really, really bad inside of them, in their soul. And this is, of course, a sign of possession. Another now you have to be very, take all this with a grain of salt. These are real symptoms, but you have to figure out if they're actually you or you're just making yourself believe that you have them. I don't want to convince anybody that they're possessed if they're not, or that they're not possessed if they are. I'm just giving you what I understand. Let's see what else. And do you ever feel like you're living an unreal life? This kind of talks about what I talked about earlier, but do you ever feel like you have a life that is not fully yours? It's mixed with, like somebody else's energy, and you live their life. You feel maybe partially your life and partially their life. Well, that their life is the soul that has attached to your consciousness that is skewing your life. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not disoriented, or that you're disoriented, and it doesn't mean that you're lost, because everybody has these things about life where they're questioning reality and stuff like this. This is completely normal, but if you feel like you have some kind of situation where your life feels like it's a little bit different from the rest, because the rest of the people are probably not possessed, then that is a sign that you might be possessed. That's all for this video, people. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you all the best. If you are possessed, just pray, rest. You don't need to see an exorcist. That's all scary propaganda, scary movie propaganda. You can pray them all the way out of you. You can heal yourself. Thanks for watching.